Let me take you back. All
All
right.
right.
Let me take you back to World War One. Nobody really talks about World War One. All the love gets, pushed to World War Two.
Mm-hmm.
The World War One, it was the Great War. It was a nasty war, fucking trench foot. It was people's first real experience with PTSD and shell shock and all that.
And for the record, he says Great War, meaning the Great War, not it's a Great War.
It was a great war. It was the greatest war. Um, but no. So let me paint the scene for you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Eve, Germans on one side of this field, the British on the other side. And I'm assuming you're nodding as you know this story.
Yeah, I
You
remember
mind
it
if I
now.
tell it?
Go for it. Yeah.
All right, because it really is. It's probably my favorite true Christmas story out there. So, for those of you who don't know, maybe too young or too old to remember what you got taught about World War One, big thing was trench warfare.
Yep.
You basically got in a field, dug these trenches that you had to hop out of, went across no man's land that was just a barren wasteland
Mm-hmm.
of of shrapnel, of barbed wire, of potholes, of like
bodies.
the worst.
Yeah,
Right.
it was bad.
But Christmas Eve, I believe it was the Germans where they raised a flag and it was basically like, hey, nothing's going to happen tonight or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. British officer ends up climbing out of his trench and holding his hands up and kind of walking towards the German trench. And the German officer does the same thing. And as they do it, the rest of the army that is with them does it, and they all approach each other. And they shake hands, and they tell each other Merry Christmas. And the next couple hours of that night, it's filled with, they made a makeshift soccer game. They shared MREs. They sat down and made fires and shared stories about their countries. German soldiers would give letters to British soldiers so that those German families could get those, because back in those days it was a cutoff. If you were German, you were not getting any letters to any of the Allied countries. Same thing with the Allied countries trying to give it to Axis countries. I know that was the names of World War II. I can't really remember the names of the groups of World War One. Can you?
I also cannot.
Okay. Well,
But their
throughout the night,
version of those, yes.
yeah. Well, throughout the night on Christmas Eve, it was that. It was sharing food, sharing stories, laughing, having a good time, playing games, and whatever. And at the end of the night, they each went back to their respective trenches, and they both raised a flag that said Merry Christmas. The Germans put up an English one. The British put up a German one. And a couple days later, and what really fascinated about this story is so many soldiers on both sides ditched. They bailed. Because that's no longer a German soldier. That's no longer a British soldier. That's James. That's Franz. That's fucking Gunther. Hey, ring, General! That's fucking Thomas, That's not just someone I have to kill because I'm being told to,
Yeah.
They actually developed a mini relationship with this person, and they refused to fight each other. It ended up happening.
But then they had to.
Just had to.
Yeah.
But for me, I take it in two ways. The first way I take it is I hate war. Hot take.
I think
War's
a lot
bad.
Of us do. Yeah, I would hope a lot of people don't like war.
Steaming hot take. War's bad. War's fucked up.
Yeah.
It reminds you that war is not fought between armies. It's a bunch of fucking suits that run the country that want more. That greedy motherfuckers that are willing to send you out to die for their personal agenda.
War is a business.
And to convince you that the other side are complete monsters.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes it was barbaric, I know. But, there's a reason why a lot of countries in Asia don't like Japan. Look up Unit 731. That's all. That's all I'm gonna fucking say.
Okay, all right.
All right. Japan did some fucked up shit. Japan got fucked. Okay, let's make that clear. Japan got fucked, but Japan did some fucked up shit.
Yes. I've actually heard that World War One story retold in a few different formats, and I think the one I liked the most would probably have been, I think I saw it in like a post or something, probably on Reddit, and I was like, huh. And then I looked it up and was like, oh, that actually did happen. That's pretty fucking cool, to be honest.
Yeah, and it, like I said, it reminds me that these are human beings that don't have anything against any other countrymen. Well, maybe some of the weirdos do. But
the blind,
no doubt there's some people with a gun that's like,
I just want to go kill me a German.
And
what?
then you've got the blind followers, and but those people recognize that they're other people too.
Yeah, but I think 90% of the army is, I'm doing this because I got drafted. Like, there's a phenomenal World War I movie, and I cannot remember the name of it, and it's so aggravating. I watched it in school, and it was about this unit that had to hold a hill, and they got told they were getting backup, but they weren't getting backup. They were having to hold out for days and days and days, facing wave after wave of enemy soldiers being picked off and whatever. Phenomenal movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like the conversations in that was, oh yeah, what were you before the war? Oh, I was an accountant. I was a baker. I was a banker. These aren't soldiers. These aren't, mind on the enemy. These are people just trying to survive a war that a bunch of fucking rich assholes with greedy ass agendas, whatever. Yeah. That's a whole nother topic.